Okay, friends, Chapter 2, Joe. My name is Joe, but that's not what most people call me. Not at Einstein, anyway. I've never been a big fan of school, except for lunch. Eating is the one thing that I'm really good at. I've always been tall for my age, but lately I've been growing so fast, my clothes don't fit anymore, even the ones we bought a few weeks ago. I'm always hungry. A lot of kids wouldn't be caught dead eating school lunch. They call it mystery meat or slop, but I don't mind. Every week it shows up in the same order: chicken fingers, hamburgers, chili, macaroni and cheese, and pizza. By the way, it's not a coincidence that today is Burger Day and Wednesday is Chili Day, because at Einstein, hamburgers get recycled. It's not as bad as it sounds. The leftover burgers from Tuesday get dumped into a big pot with beans and some other junk, and presto chango, on Wednesday you've got chili. Everybody knows I don't talk much at school. My best friends, Evan and Ethan, used to call me blabbermouth as a joke, but I guess I'm not going to be hearing much of that now since they both moved away over the summer. To be honest, they were a little weird, but I'm going to miss them anyway. Evan, Ethan, and I ate lunch together every day last year, and they had to go to the resource room for extra help. Same as me. Not that we had the same problems. For one thing, they were both super hyper, and I'm not. This year, I'll have to go by myself to see Miss Frost, and I'm not sure who I'm going to eat lunch with. Probably no one. People think you're unfriendly if you don't talk to them, but they don't understand that it's a problem for me. It's so noisy in the cafeteria. My brain and nose don't get along. Last year I had Mr. Barnes for my teacher. Mr. Barnes is epic. He can bounce a hacky sack off his knee 100 times without messing up. I had never even heard of a hacky sack until Mr. Barnes brought his to school. It was pink, which Dylan Sam Ream thought was hilarious. He said something mean about it behind Mr. Barnes's back, and all the girls laughed. Sometimes I wonder what's wrong with girls, but then I remember I already know what's wrong with girls. Everything. Mr. Barnes is African American. He shaves his head and wears bow ties, real ones that you have to tie yourself. He must have talked to Mrs. Frost about me, because he never asked me to read aloud in front of the class or come up to the board to do math problems. He understood those things are hard for kids like me. Some people don't mind having everybody looking at them. Dylan Sam Ream, for instance. He wears his pants pulled down low with his underwear sticking out the top. He wants people to see it. His boxers have dollar signs on them, or dice, or lobsters. And he has special ones for holidays too, like candy corn or Christmas trees or red hearts for Valentine's Day. Dylan is famous for his boxers, but his real claim to fame is his tongue, which is long and pointy like a devil's. When he sticks it out, it makes the girls scream. He thinks he's the smartest kid at Einstein, and he might be right. He's definitely the meanest. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be Dylan Sam Ream, but that's just something I'll never know. Mr. Barnes was the first teacher I ever had who liked me. Miss Frost likes me, but she likes everybody, so that doesn't count. On my final report card, Mr. Barnes wrote that I was a valuable member of the community. My mom was so proud she stuck it on the refrigerator with a magnet. It's still there. Today is the first day of school, and Mr. Barnes is the first person I run into when I get there. He's wearing a red bow tie with little blue whales on it. I'm pretty sure it's new, or at least I've never seen it before. Last year, Mr. Barnes had 17 different bow ties, and he always wore them in the same order, starting with the green one with white diamonds and ending with the orange and purple striped ones. Mr. Barnes' bow ties were another one of my favorite sequences. "Yo, Joe," he says, "how's it feel to be a fifth grader?" "Good," I tell him, "at least so far." Maybe this year will be different, I think. Maybe Dylan Sam Ream won't be in my class. But when I get to room 506, there he is, standing over by the windows with his underwear hanging out. Polka dots. Lucy Mulligan and a bunch of her annoying girlfriends are standing around him chanting, "Do it, do it, do it." They want him to stick out his tongue, but Dylan won't. Come on, Sam Ream, give 'em what they want, Tom Dickens shouts before sticking out his own tongue and wagging it at the girls. Tom Dickens is a Dylan Sam Ream wannabe. The girls don't care about his tongue. I warn you, Dylan tells his fan club, I think it grew a little over the summer. Lucy and her friends start jumping up and down, screaming, ew! One thing I will say about Dylan Sam Ream, he really knows how to play a crowd. All the screaming starts to get to me, so I do the in 2 3, out 2 3 breathing Miss Frost taught me. If that doesn't work, I'll have to use my earplugs. I always keep a pair in my pocket just in case. They come in different colors, but I like the tan ones the best because they don't show as much. They're made out of some kind of squishy foam rubber, but when I wear them, I can still hear people talking, only it's softer, like when you're underwater or have a pillow over your head. I'm allowed to wear my earplugs in school whenever I want, but mostly I use them in the cafeteria, on the playground, and in gym class. Settle down and take your seats, announces Mrs. Beam, my new teacher. This is her first year teaching at Einstein, and she looks a lot younger than any of the other teachers I've had. She's shaped kind of funny, wider on the bottom than the top, and she's shorter than me, which is weird, considering that she's my teacher. She seems nervous, and there's something freaky about her eyebrows. At Einstein, kids have to sit in alphabetical order. Every year, since kindergarten, my seat has been right behind Dylan's. I know the back of his head by heart. Mrs. Beam has made name cards for us and put them on the desks, but when I go to take my seat behind Dylan, somebody's already sitting in it. He's a shrimpy-looking kid with thick glasses and greased-down black hair parted on the side. I've never seen him before, and I'm not sure where he's from. His skin is darker than mine, but not as dark as Dylan's or Caleb Burrell's. When I look at the card sitting on his desk, I see his name is about a mile long and full of Y's and A's. He seems kind of nervous, too. He keeps rubbing his nose and looking down at his hands, which are folded in his lap like he's at church or something. His shirt is so white it hurts my eyes to look at, and he's got it tucked in and buttoned all the way up to the top. When Miss Beam asked him to tell the class about himself, he stands up like he's in the army and calls her ma'am, which is about the only word he says that you can actually understand. Everybody starts laughing, and for a minute I think, hey, maybe 5th grade isn't going to be so bad after all. Maybe Dylan Sam Ream will decide to pick on this new kid with the weird name and the funny accent instead of me.